All right, what's up, everyone? It's really late, but I wanted to bang out this video real quick. Shawn Porter's going to be fighting Terence Crawford November 20th, ESPN pay-per-view, and this is going to be Crawford's his biggest test. This is going to be the biggest test, arguably in his career, but definitely as a welter. All right, as a welter, this is his biggest test. I see Shawn Porter as being a top 3, top 4 welterweight. I have Errol and Bud, number 1 and 2, whatever way you want to put it. And then I have Shawn Porter right there, and you could put Ugas right up there too at this point. But Shawn Porter, I got to give him a lot of credit. First of all, I didn't think this fight was going to happen. And I haven't really been covering this fight and the politics and everything that's been leading up to this fight. He says, she says stuff. I haven't really been playing into it. I know that they were scheduled to have a purse bid. I knew that there was going to be a lot of people interested. I expected, Eddie Hearn to be interested. I seen that he said that, there was some articles made about him being interested in the fight. I didn't really address any of that. It's all about having a fight to me, and I think a lot of us really need to go back to not being so concerned about the purses, about, which network is going to catch, get the fight. And, I don't really care about that stuff, man. I just feel as fans, we need to get back to this addressing the fight, talking about the fight. I have a YouTube channel. And the majority of my videos, I like just breaking down the fights and talking about what fighters can do to win and what are they going to do as far as their career is concerned, moving forward, possible matchups in the future. All this stuff about purses, who deserves what percentages, who gets what, viewership and all that, pay-per-view numbers, buys. I mean, we got to talk about it. I'm definitely going to address it from time to time, but I think we're doing too much of it, and I really don't care about their purses, From what I read, it's going to be like 60-40, but I really don't care, man. I'm just happy the fight is happening. Shawn Porter is technically his mandatory for the WBO strap, and that's all that really matters, man. All this other side of the street, the wrong side of the street, all that stuff. This just further proves that that's bullshit, The fight should be happening. It doesn't really matter what side of the street you're on. It's a fight that people want. It's not the biggest fight that people want. Obviously, people want Errol against Terence Bud Crawford. But this is a good fight too. Shawn, Bud, they're both the same age. They're both reaching the tail end of their primes, but they're still in their primes. They still look good. And it's a fight that should be happening. We can't go with the Porter is washed up like people went with Kell Brook before the fight. People were all for the Kell Brook fight and Terence Bud Crawford fight. When they were fighting, they were all for it. Kell Brook looked amazing. He was in great shape. And as soon as he got caught with a good shot, he folded, And then people started going right back to, Crawford didn't fight anyone, Same thing with Jeff Horn. Before that fight, Bud needed to prove himself as a welterweight. He needs to win the title. Jeff Horn was coming off the controversial win against Manny Pacquiao. What did Bud do? He went in there and destroyed him, made it look easy. Whether you think Pacquiao won or not, Bud he destroyed Jeff Horn. He made it look easy. He didn't have any struggle at all against Jeff Horn, which Pacquiao did, whether you think he won or not. So salute to these guys for making a fight happening. I know these guys are friends, but this is boxing at the end of the day. You guys can go right back to being friends after the fight is over. I remember at one point Shawn Porter and Keith Thurman were friends. And they might still be, but you guys got to get it on. This is a sport at the end of the day. You guys are two of the top elite fighters in the same division. So if you guys have to fight each other, you got to do what you got to do. You know, do I think it's worth a pay-per-view? Not really. No, I don't. But I'm a big Crawford fan. He is my favorite active fighter right now. He's number one. And I think he's the most skilled boxer in the sport. I don't think he has a resume like a Canelo, but, based on the eye test, I think he's the most talented boxer in the sport right now. I like Bud, and I will support him. I'm going to pay for the pay-per-view. I'm going to support Shawn Porter, too. Shawn Porter, I was looking at BoxRec a little bit just to confirm what I had already knew, but Shawn Porter fought Kell Brook, undefeated Kell Brook. He fought undefeated Keith Thurman in his prime, Kell Brook in his prime, Errol Spence in his prime before the accident, right? Before eye injuries, Errol Spence is still undefeated, but before any of that, Shawn Porter fought him. And now he's going to fight Terence Crawford, another undefeated fighter. You got to give Shawn Porter credit. On top of that, he fought Ugas, who was very dangerous at the time. He fought Danny Garcia. He fought Andre Berto. He fought a good amount of fighters. He fought Adrian Broner when he only had lost to Maidana. He's fought a lot of good fighters, man. You gotta give Porter credit. Didn't always win every fight, and I know people are gonna look at his resume and see that, he has those losses there, 3 losses. But Keith Thurman fight was debatable. Same with Errol Spence, debatable. Very, very close fights. He gave both of them hell. Kell Brook, tough fight for him too. I think Kell Brook up to this point probably did the best against Shawn, but it was the least favorite fight out of the 3. A good win for Kell Brook. Thorough boxing. Loved the boxing he did, but it wasn't the best fight. Porter's improved since then, and he gave us a more action-packed fight against Keith Thurman and Errol Spence Jr. Both of those fights were candidates for Fight of the Year. And I think this is going to be a great fight, too. So salute, I think there's still more work to be done, and I am going to give these guys credit for putting a fight together. But I'm going to be honest, I don't want to escape reality. Like, this is a fight that should be happening. With or without pay-per-view. This is a fight that should be happening. Because these are the two of the top 5 welters. So I think that I am grateful, but we should be getting fights like this on a regular. So I think the big thing about this fight is the fact that we're getting a top-ranked fighter who's been on pay-per-view against a PBC fighter who's also been on pay-per-view. They both have names, and people want to see it. It's not the fight. It's not the number 1 fight, but it's up there. I mean, if it's not going to be Errol Spence, it should be Shawn Porter. He's the second, I guess, most desirable fight that I want for Bud right now, welterweight. And I've said this. I've been on record saying this. Now that Manny Pacquiao lost, I want to see this. I don't know what Pacquiao's going to do. I don't know if he's going to retire, but I wanted Pacquiao to get. I wanted Bud to fight Pacquiao in the past, but I'm not so interested right now. Not really that interested right now. I know he would want it. I know, but nah. This is the fight to make. Porter is still fresh. And this will be his biggest win at welterweight. And they'll shut a lot of mouths. And let me tell you something. This is the time where Bud really needs to show out. He really needs to show out. Like, with everything that's been said, he knows what's been said. For the people that doubt him, he doesn't have a hardcore fan base of any type of, ethnic background. Like, his fans are scattered. You know, you got the hardcore PBC fans, who the majority are Wilder fans. On top of that, Errol fans, or just PBC fans who are totally against him. And then you have the Canelo hardcore fan base who's against him because of a pound for pound list. You know how that goes. So a lot of people are against Bud. So I think he needs to put on a show. And what Bud needs to do to really impress is not only win the fight, but make it look easy. Make a statement. Guys like Brooke, Thurman, Spence struggled against Shawn Porter. You want to make it look easy like you've done in other fights. All right, but they won't be able to say, oh, this guy was damaged. Oh, this guy was in this guy was in that. No, you got to go in there and make it look easy. All right? That's the goal. Not just win, but dominate. Be the first to do it. Be the first to make it clear. Don't just win. Yes, obviously you got to win the fight, but dominate Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter, on the other hand, this would be a big win. I think this, if he is to win the fight, I think this will be his third time winning a championship. And this would be his biggest win if he is to win the fight. He's lost, he lost to the other three undefeated fighters. Beating Bud, a guy that many consider to be a pound for pound top fighter, this will be his biggest win. So there's a lot in store for him. I believe he's getting his largest guaranteed purse, which is great money and everything. That's cool. But legacy-wise, this would be a great win. And it would just... I think Shawn is already one of the most respected boxers. He might not be the most talented. A lot of people are not a fan of his style. I know a lot of people more of recently became a fan of Shawn because of his podcast or just because of the fact that he fights everybody. And this is why I respect him so much. Like, damn, he's doing everybody else's work. He's the only welter that's consistently fighting the very best. And he's always giving us a good performance every single time. You might not like his style so much, but he's the one that's always got to do the dirty work. He already fought everybody on the PBC side already. Now he's crossing over and fighting Bud because nobody else would. Nobody else will do it. People are overpricing themselves and everything. People talking about the wrong side of the street, yada, yada, yada. And we're at a time where, a lot of celebrities outside the sport is putting their foot in the door of the sport. You got all the old timers coming back fighting each other. And you got a lot of guys that want to keep things in-house. And it's always been that way. But recently it's been... people are getting COVID. People, the politics, everything. It's a lot going on right now. So for him to come at a time like this right now and fight Terence Crawford, I give him a lot of respect. From what I read, Bob Arum, put up the purse. Like I said, I don't care. I don't care if it happened on ESPN. I didn't care if it happened on PBC. I don't care if it happens on DAZN. But listen, if Bob Arum is the one that made it happen, then salute to him. But this was supposed to happen to begin with. All right. I don't know what made him do it. I don't know. It's because of Eddie Hearn. I don't know. I don't know if it's because ESPN was putting pressure on Top Rank to make the fight happen. I have no idea. I don't have no one on the inside. I'm just speaking from a fan's perspective. This fight should be happening. I can't wait to break it down. Talk about the flaws of both fighters. What fighters can do. Each one of them can do to win. Definitely going to be doing that soon. But I love this fight. I really want this fight along with Errol Spence and stuff. But we really needed this. We needed something in the welterweight division, something real, something authentic, and this is one of them. One of them. All right. So we'll talk more. I just wanted to address it, give you my first thoughts on this fight. Very happy for both, and have a good night. I'm out. Peace.